a few years, I don't remember the name of the hurricane. There was a decimating hurricane in the panhandle of Florida. And they show, there's this big aerial picture and complete devastation down to dirt. But there's one house. There's one house that stood. And it wasn't luck. That house was built prior to the storm the right way, right? That house was built prior to the storm the right way. And so we put an emphasis on, you know, when we get together with our members, build your house the right way. So no matter what happens, you're going to be fine. Your family's going to be fine. You've got, you know, I don't think anybody would like a downturn. I wouldn't like a downturn, but because of the structure we're talking about, I wouldn't be like,
yeah,
right. Because we've followed that, followed that process. And that's what I'm talking about. We talk about making it a skill set, keeping it a discipline. That's what we just, all that's discipline.
All right. And so tell me why do you think that there's such a disparity between making it and keeping it? Do you think it's just that like most people don't have discipline, or they don't focus on it, or it's not as fun, or it's just like, it feels like self-deprivation? Like why is there, cause I've seen the same thing too. Like, yeah, great. You make a lot of money, but it's where is it? Like what happened?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things.
Okay.
And I think one of the things that is probably largely responsible for it is the habits. Like when you first start building a business, it's acquisition, right? You gotta sell stuff or buy stuff or you know, like it's and you can get so habitually ingrained in that mindset because it takes so many years to get to a spot where you're putting 30 grand over for your family and 100 grand for your business and whatever those numbers are. It takes so long to get there. By the time you realize you're there, you don't realize you're there, right? You're just on the hump every day. You don't realize you've created momentum, and all you know, right? You know, different than the hamster in the wheel, because you've been the hamster in the wheel to get to that spot for years. And that's just the way you think.
Yeah.
Right. You don't realize like, whoa, wait a minute. I set out to build a business to create a life that I can enjoy. But the reality of it is some of the habits that I had to embrace to do that are the very same habits I almost have to break in order to actually enjoy my life. And implement processes to do so.
And dude, as you're talking, that's the one thing I'm wondering is like at that level of success in business and at that level of scale where people are flipping a large amount of properties, it seems very easy to get stuck on that wheel and sacrifice some of the other parts of your life just because you've been so used to needing to do that to get your business to the point you want it to, like, and you have to kind of self adjust or course correct at some point, or maybe there's a way to do it while you're building as well. Is that something you've seen people struggle with? And
it's a massive struggle. Again, I'm going to say it and then we'll dissect it again. The very habits you have to create in order to build a life, the very habits you have to create in order to build a business that will give you a life of enjoyment are the very same habits that have to be undone in order for you to enjoy that life. Right. And initially, when you get going, it takes so much effort, so much momentum, so much energy to get to a point where you can even go, right? That when you get there, you don't realize it. Right. And so there's those, you could break that, you could find that line of demarcation. And on one side, you've got what, and on the other side, you've got who. Right. That initial push, that's the what's got to be done to get there. What's got to be done to get there. And then that line of demarcation on the other side, it's who's going to do it moving forward besides me.